All right. Well, look, as I said, many of you share my outrage at this ridiculous woke virtue signalling by Wellington City Council yesterday. What happened in the vote? And did someone at least stand up and say, you are silly? To find out, we're joined now by Wellington mayoral candidate and councillor Diane Calvert. Diane, good morning.
Good morning, Sean.
What on earth was the council doing yesterday with this resolution?
Well, it was a last-minute amendment that came through the night before.
Who proposed it?
The mayor.
Okay, so it was Tory's idea.
Yeah, so even though the papers have been out for about a week, it was a last-minute amendment that came through at night. And then, look, there's a number of councillors who stood up against it. Even Councillor Brown pointed out that, you know, if we were going to look at such things as Palestine, we really needed to have more of a systematic policy about all the other atrocities that are happening around the world.
Well, Diane, hang on, just stop there. Let's not fall into the trap, Diane. What atrocities?
Well, we were talking about, look, it's a complicated business, and this is not council's core focus.
No.
You know, we are a local council. You know, the government deals with our role with what's happening around with other countries. But, you know, personally, from my perspective, look, we're seeing issues with Russia, with Ukraine. We're seeing
which have got nothing to do with fixing the pipes in Wellington, Diane.
Absolutely, which is why we shouldn't, this is not our focus. You know, our focus is making sure
how close was the vote?
I think it certainly went through with a large majority.
A large majority? Who voted against it, Diane? Can you remember?
Just off the top of my head, but it was Councillor Brown, myself, Councillor Young, Councillor Chung, Councillor Randall, and I think maybe Puiwi Kelly, but I can't remember.
How many councillors are there?
Well, there's 15 councillors, a mayor plus 2 Puiwi.
Okay, and I understand one of the iwi representatives voted against it too.
Yeah, well, that would be Liz Kelly.
Okay, all right. Diane, I'm sorry, I'd be ashamed to be on that council after that.
Well, look, I was ashamed anyway after the vote that when they voted down my amendment to get an independent assessment on the sludge blowout. Yeah. You know, the 83 million. You know, they want to wait until the project's finished, which is not until early 2027. You know, it's ridiculous. They did the same in Town Hall, with the Town Hall.
Diane, would you commit as mayor to rescind this? Try and rescind this stupid decision from last night.
Well, look, I will not have something like that going ahead. It's got to come back to council when they work through the final details and report back on the impact.
So it's not a done deal yet?
So it's not a done deal yet. It's just asking officers to look into it. So look, there's with the new council, anything's possible, especially if the.
So there is not a boycott on Israeli investment in goods by the council at present. It has only been proposed.
It's only been proposed, and that's in respect of a new fund that the council's setting up to put the proceeds in of selling some ground leases.
All right. What message do you have for the Jewish community in Wellington?
Look, I've always stood by the Jewish community in Wellington, and I'm certainly not supporting them being picked off against others. So, look, you know, I think we as a city, we have to be inclusive of everyone, but we also need to stick to our knitting. We need to stick to our core business and focus on that and not get involved in political politics.
Look, while I've got you here, Western Bay of Plenty are putting out ads, District Council, supporting Maori wards. Do you think councils have got any business using ratepayers' money to advocate on that issue?
Well, look, it's one of the things in the on the voting papers. So, you know, I would be just happy for people, for councils to encourage people to vote. and make sure they know who
What
to vote
about when
for.
councils like Western Bay of Plenty District Council advocate for Maori wards? Do you think that's appropriate?
I don't think we should be advocating. We should be putting the information in front of voters in a clear and neutral way.
Thank you. Diane, thank you. I know that was short notice. Really good to know what went on at the meeting and what it was about. Thank you for your time. That is Wellington mayoral candidate Diane Calvert.